Welcome to a demonstration of the Scrubber Adsorber Newsletters, Abstracts, and Networking directory, which comprise the Scrubber Adsorber knowledge system. And it actually covers biofilters and adsorption, AD, as well as AB, so activated carbon is also included. We've been publishing this newsletter since 1975. So there is one way or another to get access to all those issues going back, but online you have all the issues back through 1999, and you can go back sequentially. First of all, you receive the newsletter, of course, each month electronically, but then you can retrieve the issue this direction. So we're looking at the May issue right now, and you can see that this particular issue we were focusing on livestock operations and odor control, and so here is how some odor control is taking place here at the stock show. And the biogas plant in Korea is a lot of interesting activities with biogas and scrubbers and adsorbers to remove the odors that are associated with those. And of course, the FRP is used for a lot of these scrubber installations, so we get into the contractors who are supplying the components and the shells, and we're looking at comparing, fiberglass to, in some cases, exotic steel alloys. We're tracking also the activities of the people that are acquiring companies and are one way or another in the news, and interesting applications. So, for instance, SO2 scrubbers for Siam cement in Thailand is a hallmark because SO2 removal in a relatively developing country and on a cement kiln, when there really is not even SO2 removal yet in most of the kilns in the United States and Europe. So this is certainly a noteworthy news item. And we do get into, as you can see here, to financial news. So this is BioRem, which is a biofilter company, and we get into the details of what's happened in the most recent financial period for this company. Seco is reporting 4.7 million in new orders. They're a mini conglomerate that has been very active and has picked up scrubber companies such as Seco and Fisher Klosterman, and has built a substantial company around that. So we're reporting their news as well. And improvements on scrubbers. Here's a new scrubber design on an ETO scrubber. We also track the various activities. So sludge incineration would be one where there's a particular interest because they use scrubbers for capturing the acid gas emissions that come off of the burning of sewage sludge. We track violations. Here's a violation in Saipan for some oil terminals and things, and a pellet facility that was fine. So this would be a typical of a newsletter. We might just take one more issue. And we have wastewater treatment that happens to be featured in this issue. And so here's a big opportunity for an odor control system in Hawaii. By the way, this is a major use of scrubbers. There's sometimes many millions of dollars worth of scrubbers providing odor control throughout a wastewater treatment plant, even starting with the lift stations on the way to the plant and the various processes within the plant, ending up with the sludge. So these are covered. And poultry orders is another activity, as you can see here. Innovative processes going on in biogas, again, which is another big area because of greenhouse gases and the use of biofuels. There is also the need to purify the gases that are emitted. So again, some more financials as we were seeing in the last newsletter, and tracking finds in violations. And we're certainly doing this around the world. So we're tracking activities in many different places of the world. So you can go back through all these different issues, as I said, all the way back to 1999. But you can also look at the abstracts. So on the May abstracts, for instance, would have an article that happens to be in Pollution Solutions on abatement from municipal solid waste incineration, biofiltration, and another pollution equipment, or in waste management, or government publications. Here's one in the Federal Register that allows you to quickly go to the details of a particular regulation. So the abstracts also comes with this, and you can go back for any chronologically. But for any of these, you can also go back and just search the entire Scrubber web. So if you want odor, for instance, you can just go in and type odor and hit submit and see everything that's appeared, 996 results, either by relevance or sort by date, and then you can go to that particular newsletter and then read that article. But that may be overwhelming, so you put and sewage here, so you narrow the search to just odor control to deal with sewage, and then that reduces you to only 116 results. So very quickly you can zero in on a particular area. And if you want to do it by country as well, you could just, in Saudi, for instance, here, and see that any activities that you can see here, there's odor control in Saudi Arabia as shown by 12 different results. So this is a very useful way to zero in on data. You can also click by company name. So if you want to click on a particular company, we were just talking about BioRim there, for instance, so forth, but you can scroll down in particular company, go down to Beaumont, Beg, Belco would be another type of a company, for instance, there. You can get just articles that relate to them. They're now been acquired with DuPont. So if we went under DuPont, we'd probably get more recent information. But you see the articles that have appeared in the newsletter as well as in the abstracts. So that's another way to search is by company. By keywords, we have a structured keyword system. So you can go in just on adsorption or regeneration or whatever and look at materials that way. By going in by SIC code, I think is another very useful way to go about things, because if there's scrubbers on geothermal plants, then this goes right to those applications. So you can see that we've got this arranged in a structured keyword system. So pulp digesters and lime kilns and so forth. So you can go right to that kind of information. Some of it might be quite old, but there were points in time where there was a pending regulation. There were tremendous amounts of data generated, and a lot of that is still useful many years later. So here it is structured in this format. You can go by geographic area. So if you want to see what's going on in China, you can also look at it on that scale, or in Canada, for example. And so this is a useful way to look at the data as well. We'll move then from these two services, and we'll go back to another part of it, which is also on the website, which is and we're going just a different way. We're going to subscriber login here, and we have many, many different services. But in this Scrubber area, we also have this networking directory, which is part of this $500 package. And again, you can view this by companies. So if you want to find the people at American Air Filter in Louisville, you can view their emails and their phone numbers in the Scrubber networking directory. You can also go about it a different way. You can search by country. So you can go into China and see all the Chinese scrubber companies as well. So that's another good way to look at it. And you can search by products. So just the people that furnish activated, adsorbers as opposed to scrubbers or absorbers and so forth. These would be people that are in this particular business. And you can see that these are pretty extensive. So there are thousands of companies that are listed here, and some of them are small companies, like Clean Gas Systems is a very small company, and we would have information on them as well. So and we have them in Australia, and we have them all over the world. So you can see the extent of information and again, this is just on adsorption. So the networking directory is another particularly useful part of this knowledge system. I think that gives you a pretty good rundown on the Scrubber Adsorber Adsorber knowledge system. I'd be happy to answer any questions. This is Bob McIlvaine, and you can reach me at 847-784-0012, extension 112. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to read and hear about our Scrubber Adsorber Knowledge Network. Thank you.